Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining tonight's Spotlight by the Georgetown County Branch 5520, where we are here to educate, motivate, and activate. We have a couple of topics that we're going to bring to you right quick. Please be sure to share this recording, this live, this live recording here on Facebook. What we're going to do is bring on our first guest, Sheldon Butts. Good evening.
Good evening, Miss Ebony. How are you this evening?
Doing pretty good, Sheldon. I think I'm having some technical assistance here running the background. Can you hear me well?
I can hear you well and see you well. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, no problem at all.
All right. Please tell us about what's going on.
So, our state of legislators who we vote on and send to represent us in Columbia, in your respective counties, in your respective city, had their final session. The General Assembly had their final session of the 125th General Assembly session today. And basically, what that affords the legislators to do is all of the bills that they have on the desk that have passed one chamber and didn't pass another chamber, they took up these measures and took up these votes and either chose to pass these votes so they can go on for signature to the governor, or shut the bill down all the way. And we have a couple of bills that are very concerning, and I think South Carolina will be in this General Assembly right here will be remembered by the bills they didn't pass today versus the bills that they did pass. And one of the very first one is the hate crime bill that 48 other states in the United States have a form of hate crime uh, bills that they use um, to find individuals who have committed a crime uh, and had malicious intent because of a person's religion, skin color, gender, etc. That by itself will ensure that that individual be held liable for that crime outside of committing murder. They will be hit with a hate crime. Well, our ingenuous legislators chose again for the third time to not have a hate crime bill in the state of South Carolina. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you that it did pass in the House. And the House is a very conservative, uh, uh, Republican-leaning chamber of the House. They did pass it. When it went to the Senate again for the third time has chose to not ensure that our citizens of all creeds, all color, all religions, all factions are protected in their human rights as it pertains to hate crimes. So what that does is it takes the crime the name of the crime bill that they're talking about was Clemente C. Pinckney Hate Crime Act, uh, House Bill number 314. Excuse me, 3024. That's Clemente C. Pinckney Hate Crime Act, House 3014. And for those who don't know who Clemente Pinckney is, this the, trying to get this bill passed started when we had one gentleman on one Tuesday night that chose to go into a African American Episcopal church in the city of Charleston and decided he was going to sit with parishioners and allow them to pray for him and allow him to be a part of that session, only to gun down 9 of them where they sat and where they stood. 9 died and one was saved in very critical condition. So after that hellacious incident that happened at Mother Emanuel in Charleston, South Carolina, legislators jumped straight to the forum and said we need to have a hate crime bill. That South Carolina cannot be one of only 2 states in the union that does not have a hate crime bill.
Right.
But it
That's right.
but it happened again. Ebony is we're still stuck in our own miring and in our racist ways of the individuals who are leading us specifically in Colombia, who's supposed to have our best interests at
Interest
heart.
at heart. Absolutely. Can you still hear me well?
I can.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to bring on our branch president, Dr. Winchester. And I think we are probably having a technical issue because he is here, but we cannot see him. Thank you, everyone, for joining tonight's Spotlight, which is brought to you by the Georgetown branch, NAACP, number 5520, where we are here to educate, motivate, and activate. Thank you for joining us tonight. I think we are having some technical issues. Sheldon, if you can hear me, you're going to have to log off and come right back in.
I can. You want me to log off?
Yes.
Okay.
And for now, everyone, what we're going to do now is bring on Miss Marilyn Hemingway. Good evening.
Good evening. Can you hear me, Ebony?
I hear you loud and clear. I think there's a little glitch or technical issue.
Very good. Deontay said he is in the car driving. He's going to be audio, but he can come on if you want to bring him on also.
I've tried to bring him on. He's actually technically on. I think we're having a little bit of a glitch here. He's not appearing on the screen.
Yeah, I see now. All right. Well, we could start talking about what we need to talk about, and hopefully, if they both can go back off and come back in, maybe that'll reset the issue there. All right. And here's Sheldon is back. Hopefully, this is taking care of his issue also. You want to try and see if he can come on? Sheldon, hello.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here. Thank you.
Okay.
The wonderful world of technology. Back out and come back in.
When in doubt, shut it down. When in doubt, shut it down.
That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
goodness.
Deontay, you might have to do the same thing because we can't bring you in for some reason.
Yeah, it's doing the same thing. So, Sheldon, can you go ahead and last time we couldn't hear, the audience could not hear, I think, what you were saying. Can you repeat just that last part, and then we can move on to the last topic?
Help me understand what the last part. So what our legislators did or didn't do was pass a bill that its only purpose is to ensure that enhance penalties for certain violent crimes when offenders intentionally selects a victim due to the offender's belief or perception regarding to the victim's race, color, religion, sex, gender, national origin, sexual orientation, or physical or mental disability. That's the crux of the law. And our legislators found some way not to come together as a non-partisan entities. We're talking about human life. Let's put that out there and let that stick there for a moment. We're not talking about dreaming about ghosts in the middle of the night. We're talking about human lives that are taken because of those things that I mentioned of. Our laws in South Carolina will not hold that person accountable because they did it on the notion of hate. So he or she may have a lesser punishment because they can't tack on the hate crime. And again, all of that was predicated off of with the incident with Mother Emanuel where 9 parishioners were shot dead in a church in Charleston, South Carolina, and leaders of all walks and talks and colors and creeds knew we needed to have something in South Carolina that would prevent that from happening again, but we failed again.
How many years ago, Sheldon, has the incident happened at Mother
Yes,
Emanuel?
June 17, 2017, to be specific.
Okay, I was thinking.
So we're talking about from 2017. And again, every time it went through the chambers, it was passed in the House. The House is very, very pretty much conservative. However, they have a few individuals who are common sense type individuals and people who understand that human lives are involved and human lives are being thwarted just because somebody wanted to do something that was vile to them. And that was the first time that the bill was introduced into the General Assembly, and it failed then. It failed one more time, and now it's failing again as of today, May 9th, 2024.
Ebony, now we can't hear you.
Now, to be one of 2 states that doesn't have a hate crime bill, you have to really think about that, and the impact that incident has had in South Carolina. It's amazing because I was at an event, a leadership event last week, and we had a lady that was supposed to be at the church that night. And she shared in our leadership group how that still haunts her today. People are still traumatized, all of these years later, and they were not even present. It makes, there's a way we should not have a hate crime bill and why they don't see the need. I think you were sharing earlier, Sheldon, that he said that they can't get into the minds of people and why we shouldn't have a hate crime bill. Can you explain the reasons why they gave that we should not have that passed?
So this is from the Senate Majority Leader in South Carolina. His name is Shane Massey. He's a Republican from Edgefield, and he's the lead on this big effort to ensure that this bill does not pass ever in the state of South Carolina. His main one crutch that he uses is that we shouldn't be in the business of expecting the judges and the lawyers to be psychiatrists and psychologists to figure out in the minds of individuals why they did X, Y, and Z, because was it the skin, was it religion, that we don't pay judges and we don't pay lawyers to do that. We pay them to solve crimes, and we have crimes. We have enough on the books now that we can charge somebody and without it being a hate crime. So why the need for a hate crime? And that's his crutch. That's his only crutch. Nothing more, nothing less. And it fails every time just with that one notion.
So he basically has no reason to deny it. He just wants to deny it, and that's an excuse. It's a sad excuse. I want to say something else, but that's what it is. It's an excuse. And unfortunately, South Carolina prides itself on being contrary and also their wretched civility. And what I mean by that is they will smile in your face while they know you're being killed or shot or stabbed to death. And that's what South Carolina is proud of. And until we get over ourselves and relieve ourselves of those biases and understand the value of a hate crime, which I do believe they understand the need for the hate crime, it's just that they're sending the message to Black, brown people and others, women, that we don't value your life.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're doing. And it's a question of morality. So how do you address that? Well, sometimes you just can't change people, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta vote them out.
You know, it's all fun and games. My mom and dad used to tell me all the time, because I used to get in trouble a lot. I mean, a lot. And they always told me, said, you know what? It's all fun and games until it happens to you. Because I used to pick on kids and do this and that's all they said. It's all fun and games until it happens to you. So it's going to take something egregious to happen to them or one of their family members for them to understand the need of a simple bill. It's not convoluted with stuff that's sticking in there. It's just a simple bill that addresses this simple issue, and they can't do it. It's going to take something to happen to them or somebody that they know very closely, and then they're going to look and understand. Look what's going on with the anti-rhetoric with Jews right now and Palestinians right now. They are in that boat with hate crimes. They're into that. Transgenders, they're in that boat with hate crimes. Black, brown people, we're in that boat with hate crimes. Women, you all are in that boat for hate crimes. Black women are in that boat for hate crimes. So you understand these, again, you said it, it's a human aspect of it that they're missing, and that's shameful, and I don't understand how it happens. You got to have some human stuff pumping through your heart for a bill like this not to come to pass. It can't have blood pumping through their hearts.
Because if you can't see your own humanity, you can't see the humanity of others. And this is what happens when you can't see your own humanity. You don't see how this can hurt you. It should not have to come down to it happens to you personally. Because if you see your humanity, you see the humanity in others. That's where empathy comes in place. You don't want yourself to hurt. That means you don't want others to hurt. And they can't get over themselves. They can't get past that. They can't get past their short-sightedness. They can't get past their own little world. And this is who we elect. So until we change who we elect, this is what we're going to get.
And you know, McMaster's holds the blame here too, because he can sway that little hump we need to get over to get it. He can sway that, but he said he would have vetoed any bill that passed that came to him. He would have vetoed it. So he has a whole lot to do with this not passing also.
And I agree with that, you know, but to segue into the next topic, that's why it's important to vote. Okay. That time is coming. There's a program, y'all, and I really want to put this flyer up on the screen, but again, we're having some technical issues. It will not upload right at this time, but it's a program that's called Be Vote Ready. You can join 2 sessions for questions and answers about voting, upcoming elections. They'll answer questions about the election process, voters registrations. I learned now that they actually have 4 sessions. They're going to have one in Georgetown May the 1st. From 10, all of them are from 10 to 1. They'll have one in Andrews on May the 15th. They'll have one in Pawleys Island on May the 2nd, and one in Choppy on May the 16th. Because it's not going to pull up on the screen right now, everyone, you can go ahead. You can go ahead and go to Facebook, to our Facebook account, and we will post it there for you to see all 4 meetings. Go there and answer questions, get people who you know, because they are literally trying to change the law. I learned today that it's on the floor. Now, keep in mind, they don't want to do a hate crime bill, but what they are willing to do is put things in place to make it harder for people to vote. They're actually wanting to change our constitution to reflect that all people cannot vote in the state of South Carolina. And you know who that's trying to crack down on? Who, Maryland?
Immigrants.
Immigrants.
Mhm.
And they are part of our community.
And
Many of
who,
them, Black and brown,
who
underserved.
don't have the right to vote. They don't vote. I mean, you have to be a citizen. All right. So it already says that. We all know this is political posturing. And if you come out against this, which it makes no sense, it's a waste of time and money, they're going to say, hey, you're not patriotic. You don't, you committing voter fraud. It's not that at all. This is just so they can take that message and say, see, they didn't vote for this because they're not patriotic. Vote for us. And that's hate, folks. That's hate. And those same folks don't want a hate crime bill passed. But it's hateful to try to prevent people from voting. It's hateful to create a false message because you want to scare people. You want to suppress the vote. And that's what it is. The target is actually to suppress the votes of people who like, oh, I don't want to vote. It's going to be hard for me to vote. Because they know already those who are not citizens, whether they're immigrants who have not completed the citizen process yet, can simply not register to vote. It's not set up that way for them. The target is to suppress the vote of other people or to get people mad so that they turn out because, oh, I'm going to vote because illegal immigrants are voting. It's very sad, the lies that are being told. If you really have issues to stand on, then promote your issues. Promote your stand on the issues. You don't have to make an issue up.
Can I tell you this?
That's the thing. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. This is a big thing to change a constitution. That's not a small feat, you know. That's something big, and big things are supposed to happen when you're changing your constitution to have a big effect on a lot of people in a positive manner. That's usually what you see when governors and legislators wanting to change a constitution of a state. That's some seriousness, and they're using it for frivolous racist antics.
They are. I agree. They are. And it's why people need to listen to shows like Spotlight, and I'm just being real. People need to read. People need to get informed on facts, not misinformation. And you know, when we grew up in the church, they say you have a discerning spirit. If no other time, people need to be discerning on what they see and hear, in particular on social media. You know, and they know that this is part of the misinformation campaign.
But I tell you this, Ebony, you're right about being vote ready. I talked to the young lady who runs the county here in Georgetown, and she said it's something as simple as this. During the last election, folks were going into the ballot and was complaining because they didn't see Joe Biden on the ballot. People, that's a name. They recognized Joe. They didn't recognize him as Joseph, so they were complaining out of ignorance, not in a bad manner, because they didn't see Joe Biden on the ballot. So you're right. The education and stay voter ready is very important, and I'm glad the young lady is coming to the floor with this and willing to have sessions and go in the community to discuss just something I thought was small, but it really means a lot. How many other people were looking for Joe Biden and not Joseph Biden and just walked away and didn't tell anybody?
Right. And that's so true. Education is key. Which, speaking of education, I want to share exciting program, which is why we have Marilyn Hemingway here to talk about a solar training program that's actually a partner with the Gullah Geechee Chamber as well as Sun, just Solar United National. Marilyn?
Yes, thank you, Ebony. So 3 organizations are working together: 7 Dimensions Outreach, Gullah Geechee Chamber of Commerce, and Solar United National. That's Sun, so cute name. All right. We are partnering to bring to the Georgetown area solar energy job training. This training will be for 3 weeks. The first week, you will get soft skills to learn how to write resumes. Operate has a board, like a board of directors for a corporation, interview skills, preparing you for a new career or a career, period. Then the second week, you'll get training on putting solar panels together. And the location where this is happening, 1530 High Market Street, you actually will be building solar panels for an electric vehicle charging parking spaces. That's what you're going to actually put in place. You will gain these skills so that you can go get a job in the new green renewable energy field, in particular solar and electric vehicle charging stations. And you will also receive OSHA certification level 10, which is basic, but it sets you up for job interviews, for jobs, basic jobs in the new green renewable energy field. And also this ends with a graduation on July 3rd. So this starts June 17th, 3 weeks, and it ends on July 3rd with the graduation. We want folks who you've just finished high school, you don't quite know if you want to go to a 4-year school or a 2-year school, but this is something you can attend for 3 weeks, or you're just coming out of the justice system, prison or jail, and you're still trying to figure out what your life is. You can come and take this for 3 weeks. Now, this is key to know. For this 3 weeks, we're going to pay you. We're going to pay you $12 an hour if you are accepted into the program. And then we're also going to provide breakfast and lunch, because for 3 weeks, this is for all day. We're very serious about this. This is a serious opportunity. 18 and older, 45, and you don't know quite, you want to change careers possibly or get a new job. Come take this, sign up, and go through this 3-week course, and you have an opportunity for a new career. Now, we also will be bringing in businesses for interviews. We don't guarantee a job, but we will be bringing in businesses for the interviews. And then also there, once you apply, you see the QR code there, says apply here. So click the QR code, go ahead and get signed up. We do have an interview day. Everyone will go through this. You will be assessed. So you may not necessarily make it into this program this time, because we do have a limited number of seats. So make sure you sign up quickly and get on the list so you get the call back for the assessment day, which will happen about 2 weeks before everything starts. So if you are accepted into the program, you can get all the paperwork completed and everything. We can hit the ground running on Monday, June 17th. So it's a great opportunity. Ebony's organization, 7 Dimensions Outreach, the Gullah Geechee Chamber of Commerce, and Solar United National, SUN is the acronym. We're all working together to bring this to Georgetown and beyond. It's a great opportunity, and I encourage men and women, not just for men and women, to come on out and let's make this happen. Great opportunity to get your head start in the new green renewable energy career.
I'm excited about that, Marilyn. Thank you so much for giving us all the information about that. We're also looking for, like Marilyn said, businesses that would like to maybe come in and offer services to help with the interview process and even job placement. So please have anyone that you know reach out. We will also put this flyer up on the NAACP page. Please check out our Facebook page to look at the announcements and flyers and details so that you can get the information so that you can pass this along to those who are in the community. But I am so super excited, especially this being the first graduating class. And we have a lot of support. We want you to also come to that graduation, and we'll give more details about that on July the 3rd. The media will be there. You'll be able to support these students. And also, you think about becoming a sponsor, a donor to this program, where we are looking for that as well. But I'm so excited to announce you know, I better not announce that yet. I better wait to get a little bit of clearance about who's going to be our keynote speaker. This is so awesome. But we're going to give you some more information about that. If you have any questions or comments, folks, please feel free to go ahead and drop your comments. Give us a thumbs up. If you're there, we got some folks watching right now. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up, a heart or something. Let us know that you're there. If you have any questions, here in the next minute or so, we'll be happy to answer any questions. Marilyn, Sheldon, you want to have anything that you would like to add about the program before we just go over in some community announcements?
I tell you what, this initiative that the Gullah Geechee Chamber of Commerce and Seventh Dimension are partnering with, this is turning a new chapter in Georgetown. A new chapter that's long overdue, and I do believe it to be my truth that it will open up doors for many, many young men, young women who wouldn't either had a chance or didn't know how. It's going to provide that for them, and that's the kind of stuff that you wake up and you smile for every morning. Is to understand that we're not doing this for your self gratification, neither of you and your businesses. You're doing this for the people, opportunity, and not only opportunity for the work portion, but opportunity to be a part of the solar part that's helping you with your energy costs and etc. So it's a great day. That the day when you all open the first day with the training is going to be a great super day for Georgetown. I'll be right there to embrace you all and take the program and hopefully be a part of it at the end to see exactly what your fruits have bared. Again, kudos to both you all and all that you're doing, and it's going to be a good day for Georgetown.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. You know, we're investing into so many things, infrastructure. We're investing into internet. You know what? We need to sit back and start thinking. We need to start doing some more investment in people. And one of the things is that we're missing is that when it comes down to the solar industry in general, usually minorities are the last ones to hear about it. They're the last ones to get involved in it because generally it's not presented to us until after the fact. Let's not be after the fact, y'all. Share this information to whomever, your organizations, to your communities, to your church. If you're involved in schools, whomever, let them know about it. And thank you so much for your support, Sheldon. And I am thankful for Marilyn and this partnership. Let's move into our announcements. Oh, I'm sorry, Marilyn, I cut you clean off.
Oh, well, I agree with everything you're saying. And I do have an announcement, the electric vehicle. So I agree with everything you're saying. And, we need to be a part. This is the future. And shame on us if we don't open those doors for our youth and also those middle age. Come on, folks, some of us need this opportunity. So I encourage you to go and make this happen. And speaking of the future, green renewable energy is the future. South Carolina is doing open public houses. Let me go ahead and pull that up. And one is happening in Georgetown on May the 15th. And it is very important that we get involved with these public open houses presented by the South Carolina Department of Transportation. This is about the South Carolina Plus electric vehicle initiative, the benefits of electric vehicles, how they're going to roll them out, deployment of the electric vehicle charging equipment. So what we just talked about with the training, it's not just solar panels, it's electric vehicle charging stations, getting ready for that green renewable energy that involves electric vehicles, solar panels, and so on. These are now open public houses that the Department of Transportation is conducting so they can hear from us, so they can hear from the public. What do you want to see? What do you want to know about electric vehicles? Now is your time. So in Georgetown, it's happening May 15th at the Howard Center, 1610 Hawkins Street from 5 to 7 p.m. Tell your family, your friends. I've sent some of these out to some churches. We're sending it to more churches. We've got to get the word out, folks. We've got to turn out because if they hear for us, we are at the table, right? And force them to hear our voices, force them to hear our questions, and find out what's happening with the electric vehicle charging stations, because this money is, the investment is out there, it's flowing, and there is a part of money that's going to be available that if you put your word in and you stick to it and keep showing up, that money can actually be used for local programming, local proposals and projects related to electric vehicles. So now's your chance for your voice to be heard, and I encourage everybody to come on out and listen to this. So that's my announcement for that. But these, obviously, you can see how they're tied together. The training's already happening, folks. Go ahead and sign up for the solar panel training. Go through the assessment. Hopefully, you will be selected. And this is the first one, y'all. This is just the beginning. This stuff is going to roll out. But now, Department of Transportation, SCDOT, is coming, and they want to hear from you about everything that's happening in South Carolina regarding electric vehicles. Do not get left behind. We don't want our community, minorities, Black, brown, women, to get left behind in this new green renewable energy career field that it's barreling down the hill, folks, right at us, and we need to get ready for it.
Absolutely right. Again, just share the information, y'all. It's free to do that. Just share it. Go to our Facebook page so that you can get these, what we've talked about in terms of SCDOT with the electric charging stations and them hearing from the community, down to the paid solar training program that's going to be happening, as well as there was another flyer that I put up there about the voting sessions where they're going to be having questions and answers in 4 different locations. I think it was Andrews, Choppy, Pawleys Island, and Georgetown. Go straight to our Facebook page to get that information. Share it. Hit the share button. Are there any other announcements?
Just one more before we roll out. I'm just going to give you a little piece of it, and by the time we get on the next spotlight, we'll have more fruit for this. But the Biden administration, and understand we are a nonpartisan entity, but we report the news on the underserved. And this is definitely a bill that was passed today by the Biden administration for the underserved, at $5.5 billion in grants for affordable housing, community development, and homelessness to drive economic growth. That's the skinny of it. By the next time we come on Spotlight, definitely we'll have more to share with you with reference to that. But that's a big thing and a big plus for this bill that was passed today by the Biden administration.
Awesome. I'm happy that we can wrap up on some good news. We just got to take some action, y'all. Nothing moves unless you push it, unless you move it. What does that look like? You can participate, y'all. We're about helping the underserved Black and brown individuals. Why? Because historically, they've always been left behind. We're giving you some really good information here, y'all. You can support our efforts by donating to the NAACP. Okay. I was looking for the banner for that. I don't see it, but
become a member. Become a member.
Member of the, exactly. Thank you, Sheldon. What's some other ways that they can participate and be involved in helping in the community, Sheldon?
It's just that. It's just that. Get out and help in your community. You can't sit back and wait for certain things to happen. If it's not happening, you see it's not happening, and you don't like it, stand up, take a walk, and let's go make some things happening. Fight the good fight, the necessary fight. And that's what you got to do. You can't sit on the sidelines and cry. You got to get up, and stand up for your rights. Bob Marley, how about that? But yes, that's how we do it, Ebony.
That's a good way to end it.
and I didn't plan that neither.
On a good note, I love it. I love it. Well, we appreciate you all for joining today's Spotlight, which is brought to you by the Georgetown branch number 5520. We are here to educate, motivate, and activate. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you soon. Make sure to drop your questions. We'll be sure to get back with you. Have a good evening.
Peace be still.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.